Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Miranda's Sketchbook Volume 2 Inspiration Process video. And Miranda's YouTube channel is My Scrappy Life. For my layout today, I'll be using this picture of my great niece Isabella, and then I will be using these dies. The first one is a Tim Holtz one, and I think it's called Stretch, 2.5 inches tall. Awesome. And I will be using that die I pointed out there, plus some snowflakes. And then I'll be using this mini varsity one from Memory Box. I will use a tiny bit of this 6x6 paper pad, and I will be using a little over half a sheet of this Aska paper pad, one sheet, and it's wood and crystals, and I'll be using the wood side. And then it's gnome time. I'll be using that one with the Christmas trees. Well, trees. They're not exactly decorated, are they? And it is Craft Consortium. And I pulled out some of these scraps come from there too. I and I will be using one of those white sheets. I put one back because I won't be needing it, but I will need a 12-inch one. I'm using that 1 3/4 inch punch, and I'm going to punch out 3 circles, and they're going to be heads for my snowman. And the ink that I'm going to use to go around them matches that Christmas tree. I'm calling it Christmas tree again. That tree paper, and it's from Close to My Heart. But I did this layout a week or two ago, maybe, and don't remember what the ink was I used. This is one of the Craft Consortium scraps, and I punched the oval out, and then I'm just scooting in a little farther on there and punching again, so I have some moon-shaped little pieces, and I'm going to use them for like the brim of the hat. Well, not the brim, it's the roll-up part on a knit hat is what I'm going to be using them for. And they are just a tiny bit big on this head, but I'm going to trim it down just a little bit, and it works really well. I will straighten out that little straight line on there, though, because I noticed the corner, and it's going to be smoother, but I think I cut that part out. I, oh, I pulled out my 1/4 inch punch, and I punched out, well, a little over 6, because I need 6 for my snowman. And then I'm making these cute little triangles for the noses. And you will notice they're really small. But when I go to put them on the snowman, they look way too big. So I will be cutting them down, but I cut that part out too, so y'all won't have to watch the triangles getting cut twice. I use that little snowflake piece, and I think that is, instead of it being Craft Consortium, I think that scrap is Echo Park. And I put it behind my little semicircle thing. And then 1/4 inch, no. For the little ball, I used a 3/8 inch punch. But as I said, the 1/4 inch ones are going for the eyes, so the eyes will be a little bit bigger. And then I'm inking up my triangles because I haven't figured out yet they're too big. But I will, and I'll ink them all up and everything again. So y'all will just see the finished results of them shrinking. I punched out quite a few of the 1/8 inch punches because I'm going to use them for the mouth on the little snowman. And I like to make like a drop of the liquid glue and just pick the little dots up with a dab of glue that's on the pick. Uh, and it makes it a whole lot easier. And then I just kind of put it over wherever I need to put it at. And it comes off pretty easy too because the glue, it makes it stick. This hat I thought I'd make a little bit different, so I made the brim part a little bit smaller. And here I decided I needed another one cut, even though I had one cut because I couldn't find it. I don't know where it went. I have stuff disappear all the time when I am scrapping. Do y'all have that happen to you too? But anyway, I made the brim again, and I'm just putting it on my little snowball right there. And y'all know making paper snowmen is almost as much fun as making the real thing, and not as cold either. I punched out a heart so that my brim would stand up, the back of my hat would stand up to a point, and then I'm going to add the little 3/8 inch circle on the back of it. And here I decided I wanted to add a dusting of snow on there. So that's why I had the white ink out and was putting it on the edges of my pieces of the hat. The little paper pad, the reason I wanted to use it, and I think it's a Mind's Eye paper pad, is for the little holly. And I fussy cut 3 of them out to put on all 3 of my hats. And this one I put it hanging down because I thought I'd make it a little bit silly. And I will put the nose on, but later I'll decide to put the nose at a different angle because, you see those pictures, there's always that one sister, or in this case, there's always that one snowman that is just a little bit silly. So his nose is going to end up going straight up instead of the way it is at the moment. Um, the last one I'm going to make well, it's not a top hat. It's not tall enough to be a top hat. I think maybe you could call it a fedora. I'm not sure, but maybe. And I am just making the brim. And I had it planned on cuddling them all really close. But once I make that brim, no matter how I turn the head and tilt it and move it around, it just seems like too much going over the top of the other snowman. So I will be spreading them out a little bit, but that will make me want to add some little mittens to the bunch. So I will be cutting out mittens later, but not at the moment. I wanted to put a band, my mind went blank, a band on my hat. And so I had the scraps, and I have a little bowl of small scraps next to me. And this one was from 49 at Market. So I added it to the hat since it was kind of Christmassy. And of course, another piece of holly. And oh my goodness, I just noticed that when I was making this layout and putting the title on there, I lost a letter E. I couldn't find it nowhere. I was checking all my hands, my arms, my fingers, you name it, everywhere. I was checking, still didn't see it. Well, I just now found it, and it is on my photo right above the head. I guess we'll wait and see if it was there when I took the photos at the end or not. But yeah, it's on there now. So chances are it is on the photos. But well, I got it off. I got it off. It's yeah, it's off now. But yeah, it might still be on there on the photos. I'm adding some highlights. I thought on that one brim. Well, I don't think I add them till later. I'm going to add stitches on the wider brim. But right now I'm adding highlights. And I added more dots to the eyes than I normally do because I wanted them to kind of sparkle. And so, yeah, they have a few more dots. I don't know if it's sparkling or not, but they do have a few more dots. But yeah, I'm adding the highlights everywhere. And on my, oh, when I got this paper, I got it because I really love the crystals. Well, I've had it probably a year or longer and have not used any of the papers out of it because I kept planning on using the crystals. Well, I'm using the paper and I am using the wood side. I wanted to make like a fence on here, and like the snowman are looking over the top of the fence. And so I cut the 2 planks out that were at the top and bottom because I am making it shorter. And I am adding foam tape behind the planks that are going across the top and the bottom. And I'm going to be inking it in the same ink that I used on the edges of the snowman and making my wood grain look like it is got a tinge of teal in it. And I like that pretty good because then it matches the background just a little bit better. Now, here's my tall, skinny font. I mean, it's like 2.5 inches, I believe. but it's tall and it's skinny, and I really like it. And look at that crystal is on the back. It is so pretty. But there's like 2 sheets each thing, so I figured I still have one. Um, like I said, I planned on putting these really cuddly close together, but that hat just kept showing off. And so I'm going to end up putting my heads just a little bit farther apart, and then they look kind of on the funny side, being all right there. And looking at it now, it looks fine. But at the time when I was looking at it, that hat just seemed to take up too much space. But yeah, when I put them farther apart, I will be making some mittens to go with them. And I'm just going to freehand those. Um, I'm going to go ahead and put down this plank, and then I'm going to decide that I want some icicles hanging. If you can look over there to the right, I do have the punch, and it's Gooey Drips, I think is what it's called. And it's a Martha Stewart one. It's pretty old, and I wanted it forever, but it was always so high on eBay. And I found a really good deal. Somebody put it on there that didn't know what they were doing, evidently. And they put it cheaper, and I got the email, and I went straight and looked and beat everybody else to it, I guess. But it works great. It works just like new. And I had to make it kind of on the skinny side, so I don't have much to glue with on there. But I had that foam tape up there. So, yeah, if I thought of it before I put the foam tape piece down, I would have just put it down and made it a little bit wider. But it still looks good coming out from underneath that piece of wood. This right here is Snowflake Kisses, and it's from Cat Scrappiness. And I'm just going to cut the S off of Kisses and add it to the end of the snowflake, so it's snowflakes. And so my title's reading now, When Snowflakes Fall, You Gotta Make Snow Angels. And of course, Isabella is making snow angels. We had a white Christmas this year. Well, last year. It's last year. And they did too because we're right along the same area, only they're several hundred miles away. But she posted pictures, and I seen that they had a white Christmas also. And so Isabel's out there making snow angels. I always loved making them when I was a kid. Um, where am I at though on here? Oh, here I'm making the mittens. And I wanted to make them match the little snowman. So the first one I just took 2 pieces of paper and made it. But the next two I did like I usually do. I fold it in half, and the part that I plan on showing's in the middle face to face. And then I just cut them out, and then that way they're the same size, and you got a left and a right. And I just glued them on up there with the snowman. I'm adding snowflakes. I used 2 punches, plus I used a die. It's actually a background die, and it makes all sizes, but I took all the smallest ones to use on this layout. So they're kind of coming down the fence, and then some decoratively on the railing too. And I will add a couple, yeah, a few, four, to part of my title. And yeah, I love snowflakes. They are so pretty. It's decorative accessory for the winter and Christmas layouts for sure. Just finishing up with my gel pen here, and then I will add a little bit more of the ink from the Daisy White from Close to My Heart to add a dusting of snow in a couple of places. But that's it. That's my layout. And I had a lot of fun using Miranda's sketch. So don't forget Ronnie Sue 10 for a 10% discount on her latest sketchbook. This is volume 2. And there's that E at the top of Isabella's head. Oh my goodness, how could I have missed that? I mean, it stands out like a sore thumb now. But there's my little 3 snowman, and see how their eyes sparkle. At least that's what I'm telling myself. But Make sure you check out the links below and go check out Miranda's sketchbook and the inspiration ideas from that sketchbook. But if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. Have fun checking out all the inspiration layouts and checking out Miranda's Volume 2. But have a happy, scrappy week. Bye.